You're a pro.
Okay, guys, we are live today. We have here Joseph, or you might know him by JK5 in the project. Um, so no
What's up,
one,
everybody?
there's no one here yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I kind of want to wait. Oh, there they are. Okay, hey guys, welcome to another live stream. Pretty sure 6 or 7, 6, pretty sure. So, guys, today we are here with Joseph, aka JK5, and let's kind of get started.
What's up, everybody? Stoked to be here. Finally kicking it with my man Blakey G in the place to be. Here we go.
Yeah, so now just right off the bat, let's pull up the first card. One of my especially favorites.
Oh, Mickey Mantle. I just did that one a couple weeks ago.
We got a quick little applause right here.
Nice. Thank you, Elizabeth Garcia.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, I kind of want to know the process of how you make these cards.
Well, the first thing I do is I do a little research and do a little homework on each player. I get to know some of their personal information, their stats, nicknames, aspects of their career, their personality that might really inspire me or stand out or kind of point me in a direction for the concept of the card. And then I do a lot of writing. And then I just start sketching really lightly in pencil. And then it all develops sort of in this stream of consciousness way, which means it's just flowing out of my brain and I'm kind of defining and refining and staying open and creative as I'm developing it all of it in pencil. And then when everything is really detailed to my satisfaction and tight and refined in pencil, then I ink all of that and I erase all the pencil, and then I use all kinds of different materials and mediums for the color. But they're all done by hand, and some took me as little as 15 hours, and some took me 70, 80 hours to complete. So I hope that explains some of my process.
Yeah, 70, 80 hours. That's a long time. That's more than 2 days. So,
It can take many sittings, you know. Sometimes they happen in bursts, like 3 to 6 hours a sitting, or maybe I'll do 3 sessions a week. It depends, you know. It depends on how intricate and how involved each one is. They're all pretty intricate and involved, but some are simpler and happen faster than others, you know.
yep, and someone also appreciates you.
All right, word. Thank you.
Yeah, so you know what I love about this card mostly is I love the dates. The dates show pretty more important moments, including him.
Yeah, do you recognize the dates? Do you know what they are?
No, but I'm pretty sure one is maybe when he was born.
You got it. Birthday and then
One when
his
he
stats.
died.
Each card consistently usually has a batting average, home runs, runs batted in, and wait, is that it? Runs batted in, batting average, home runs,
hits.
yeah, and hits. Exactly. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
So you know what? Right off the bat, I know what I've always noticed that you like to turn the bats into pencils. Why do you do that?
Because I'm an artist and the pencil is a bat to me, or like a Jedi wields a lightsaber, an artist wields a pencil. So it's symbolic. It's what's called a metaphor, or it's allegorical to the idea of what a bat means to a baseball player, or a golf club means to a golfer, or a sword means to a medieval knight. It's just sort of replacing what a bat really functions as with what a pencil or a drawing tool functions as an artist, and drawing that parallel.
Yeah, so my
And they're
brother
really fun to draw.
just loves Star Wars. He's been watching it for so long. He's already watched Mandalorian and Boba Fett.
Awesome. I'm into those series. I watch them with my kids. I've been a huge Star Wars fan since I was 7, just 3 years younger than you. And I was 7 in 1977. So I've been obsessed with Star Wars and being inspired by it as an artist my whole life. And now with my kids being 12 and 9, it's really sweet to have that full circle and experience it as a family, Do you like Star Wars? Do you and your dad like Star Wars? Do you all three watch it together?
My whole family has been watching Mandalorian and Boba Fett. We kind of just finished the last episode last night.
Yeah. Me too.
For both.
Cool. What do you think?
So, and now I got a question for you. What's your
Sure.
favorite character in what movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie is Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, which was the second movie that came out in 1980 when I was 10, your age. And my favorite character, I would have to say, is Boba Fett. Always has been. I really like Yoda, but Boba Fett is my favorite. And he only had 5 minutes of screen time, and he became the most beloved, popular, wildly loved character because he was so mysterious and so dope. And his suit, his entire suit was armor and contained all these different weapons, and he had the coolest helmet I'd ever seen. I still think it's one of the best designed helmets or masks in the whole sci-fi genre of film.
Yeah, so my brother's truly just a super fan. I've already told you that he just loves Star Wars. You know what? He loves lightsabers. He has a few of these glass ones that are like really realistic, but they don't actually cut through stuff.
That wouldn't be good. If it actually cut through stuff, you'd just wreck stuff. You'd have to replace it left and right. Hilarious. There'd be fires all over the house because lightsabers laser, man. Like in The Force Awakens, when Kylo Ren would, he was battling Rey, and he'd go through, or he'd swing, and it would hit a tree, and it would be like searing it with like hot lava looking fire in this really precise way. So yeah, you don't want a real lightsaber.
Yeah, my brother actually has a glass Kylo Ren lightsaber, so that kind of really depicts what would happen.
That's awesome. What's your favorite? Tell me what your and your brother's favorite movie is and favorite character.
I'm not really sure what my brother's is. I think he loves all of them.
Okay.
Pretty sure Free, actually, episode 3. He loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Loves Anakin. He loves Anakin.
Anakin is going to be making an appearance in the new series on Disney Plus called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's coming out in May. And Anakin, as we know, turns to the dark side and therefore turns into Darth Vader. But young Anakin, played by Hayden Christensen from the prequels, is coming back and is going to be an important part of the Obi-Wan series, which is going to be really rad. I'm really excited about that.
Is so excited.
Awesome.
So I gotta say, mine. Now I never really like to say this to people, but in Star Wars and other movies, I just really like the normal guys that are like soldiers and stuff. I don't know why. I really love the military. I'm not really into the heroes or anything.
That's cool. You're into what you're into. Every character, every part of Star Wars has its role. So I think that's rad. I think that's interesting. You like the stormtroopers, or do you like?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Okay.
So a B1 battle droid that I actually I love the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars are my favorite.
The animated series, right?
Yeah. So apparently there was a story of a B1 battle droid that became Boneworks, and it was like this B1 droid hit its head, and then it like actually had like a mind and could actually think, and so it slowly over time became Boneworks. Boneworks is a B1 battle droid that's painted fully decked out in red and black paint. Why it's called Boneworks is because he wears like bone-looking armor, and he has a bone for a saw blade. It's really
Whoa. That sounds rad and very well described in full detail, man. I'm not familiar with that character, but my kids really love Clone Wars. And do you remember wearing the old West cowboy hat on Tatooine, the duel between the Marshal and that new guy that walked into town? Cad Bane is his name. He's from the Clone Wars.
Yeah. My
You
brother
recognize that dude?
last night. We just finished that episode.
That
And
episode
so
was insane.
my brother told me that he hated Boba Fett because he thought he was a disgrace and he was really horrible. When Cad Bane, he actually in the Clone Wars did horrible stuff to children and people.
Ooh, yeah, he's purely evil, man.
So that's the ironic thing. He did the same thing.
What that Boba Fett did?
Yeah. He did horrible things with people.
I don't know exactly what Boba Fett did to people, but I believe you. I believe you. I'm gonna say I don't think Boba Fett is as evil. I think he's a lot more neutral than Cad Bane. But he's a mercenary, he's a bounty hunter, he's now trying to rule Tatooine. It's like a battle of the gangsters right now for territory, you know. But yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, no human being is black and white, right? We're all faceted, we're all dimensional, we're all complicated, we're all so many things at once. So there's a lot of range within one individual's soul, and it's all about making the right decision and staying on the right path, right? You ever hear the phrase, what is it? It's I'm trying to think. It's there's so many things I want to say, but it's basically the animal that you want to grow within yourself is the one you feed, the one you nurture, the one you really cultivate and take care of. So if that's good stuff, then that's going to evolve and develop. If it's bad stuff, then that's going to evolve and develop. And that's what Star Wars really teaches you, is that whole spectrum of good, bad, and ugly within us all, you know?
Yeah, so before I answer that question, I just want to say one more thing that really shows why I love all the soldier characters.
Oh, cool. Tell me.
Rey from the Disney Star Wars things really shows that those army characters, like the soldiers, are just as important as the heroes. Because it shows they are also can be characters. So if you ever see a stormtrooper, they could even be like Rey in the future. You never know. So that's why I always love them, because you never know. They could always become very important characters, like the clones. They had captains and stuff.
That's very insightful and a very sensitive observation, my friend. By the way, this is rad. I'm having a really good time. You're wonderful to talk to. And you're right. The Force Awakens with the Finn character showed you that some stormtroopers at different phases of the cloning process, or just as the Empire rose to power, were just kidnapped as kids and became slaves to the Empire. And they were forced into the military of the Empire, right? And became stormtroopers. And then the clones started happening on Kamoa, and those amazing elongated necked, elegant looking, like white lavender silvery alien creatures on that storm planet. Remember in the prequels where Obi-Wan fought Jango Fett? Those are clone factories. But you're making a really good point. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I accidentally called him Rey, not Finn.
But I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. It's cool.
Now time for that question.
We got to go through more of the cards. You have them all up? You have them all kind of organized, or whatever you want to do?
Three. I have Mantle, Judge, and Matsui. But
those are the ones I have here. Those are my last few.
Yeah. Let me tell you my question. So are you ever maybe gonna do something with Star Wars and Tops?
Did you see the smile I just gave you?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to say anything, but let's just keep in really good touch.
Well, I think we just learned something we weren't supposed to yet.
It's okay. We're going to keep our mouths shut.
We're gonna make our mouths pasta so we
Oh,
can.
yeah, nice. Just back to Mickey Mantle for a second. Did you see that I put you and your brother's name in the Disney-like stones of the fireplace?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Apparently that's me down there, little me.
No, in the Mickey Mantle one, your name, Blake, and Austin are on either side of the fireplace. I just gave a shout out to you guys by permanently putting them on the cards.
The
They're going
character,
down in history.
the little kid.
What? Yeah,
Oh,
well, okay. No. In this one, your dad told me a really moving story about your grandfather and his initials BCG. See that kid pointing up at the giant, symbolizing the scale of the giant in relation to the city and the forest, right? It shows how massive he is in relation to that little tiny kid. That kid is aspiring to be that kind of athlete and have a spirit and a skill level that is that giant size. That's the idea. But do you see your grandfather's initials in there, man? BCG, right next to the little kid pointing up.
those are my dad's.
That's for you guys.
Mine.
That's
Oops,
for you
sorry.
guys. That's a loving shout out to the Grice family right there, man. And
Uh,
the and in the Mickey Mantle card, you and your brother's names, I hope you saw it. They're on the stones. Blake right there and Austin right there.
opposite sides.
That's right. In
Thank you
lavender.
so much for putting those uh, 4 things in.
It was my pleasure, man. I like hiding things. I like encrypting things. And the more, we've just developed this cool relationship and we made it happen. You guys are in there. But back to the Aaron Judge piece, if you want to talk more about that. Did you see the movie The Iron Giant?
Yes.
Do you see the glowing red, orange, and yellow eye with sort of the back 3/4 view of the Iron Giant on the side of the card? And that's what inspired the sort of evergreen forest, because I was just looking at some cool images from the film, and that was the environment. I think he was in like the Pacific Northwest or in Colorado or something when that, where that movie's supposed to take place. And I put all of, I kind of wove into the form of the evergreen trees all of his stats in this vertical style. So if you really look in, you can find his numbers and stats in there.
Yes. So you know what? I can't really remember much of the movie, but I just really love it. I love how you made the pencil that we already know is kind of like an artist thinks a lightsaber is a pencil to them. And so I see that you made it a tree because Iron Giant.
Exactly right. It's a kind of a magic tree, kind of a wild magic tree that maybe is in a bit of a conversation with the style from the Derek Jeter Lord of the Rings card. Has a bit of that sort of magic, Celtic, elvish, sort of ornamental design to the bark itself and to the branches. But yeah, he just ripped a big tree out of the ground and shoved it in a huge, factory size pencil sharpener, and he's swinging it. He's supposed to be the size of a planet, as the idea.
Yeah, so no, I can really see the pencil. It's made of a tree already, so
Mm. Yep. And dude, is that your grandfather's? Those are your grandfather's initials, right? Was that your dad's dad or
it's
your mom's dad?
mine. It's
What's
my
that?
initials. It's my initials.
Oh,
Charles Grace.
there you go.
I got Charles from my grandfather.
I see. So you are in 2 of my cards immortalized. Cool. You're a favorite little homie of this project, man.
Woo! Yeah.
Cool. So have you noticed what I've done with the cleats on most of the cards, even going back to 2020? There's a J and a K on either one. If you look closely, be fun to reveal certain things that maybe people haven't quite discovered.
I'm kind of a little lost here. Where is it again? His shoes, right?
There's a J and a K on a lot of the cards on the cleats. Just a little treat, little something to
I can see it.
discover.
It's really hard to see though.
It's cool.
Yeah, you know what? See those two little things that kind of look like they have little eyes? See the ear pod looking things?
Oh, dude, I love that you pointed that out. You know what those are?
Ear pods, kind of to me.
Well, that's rad because they totally look like ear pods. They are Judge's number 99, but then their faces are inspired by the new droids in the Book of Boba Fett because I love droid design. And then below, they look like quotes, but those are 99 also. And yeah, they're just sort of in the foreground in front of the 5, which is the S in Yankees. Do you see the word Yankees at the bottom? Can you see those wild letter forms? It's actually writing. One thing I do is imaginative things with language and writing and typography, but I don't know if you can see the Y with the Yankee logo in the V of the Y.
Yeah.
Then A, and then the cross of the A goes in front of his sock. Then the N turns into like a little foot and leg, and there's U pointing up at the giant. And then there's the star field, or outer space or a galaxy inside the K. And then the 2 E's are like stairs or like a portal into another dimension. And then my 5s and S's are interchangeable, so I can spell whatever word has an S in it. It can always be substitutable with JK5. It's like acronyms and wordplay and like really playing with initials and things. Personalizing like a whole vocabulary depending on what you're doing.
Yeah. So I think we've talked about lots of details in this card, so I think we should kind of move on.
Let's move on.
Matsui. This one is awesome.
Thank you so much. My last one.
I love this one. I just love it. I love it.
So glad, Blake. I heard you are a huge Godzilla fan.
I have seen the 2019 movie in theaters. I love it.
I watched it when it was in black and white in the 70s. And it was like a guy in a suit, and all the sets of the city of Tokyo were handmade, and it was weird and funny and totally lo-fi, which means no computer, long before computers, and it was just stop motion animation and things like that. And I love the character and the story of Godzilla.
Yeah, so I've actually seen clips of the real like start in like a late early 60s.
Yeah.
I have seen clips of that. It looks
That's when I started watching it.
Very low quality, but it's not bad.
Amazing. That's what things look like. That's how things were made.
My favorite part is when he knocks down the buildings. It looks so junky.
Yeah, no, totally. They're guys in suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you see the kanji? That's the word for Japanese characters, their alphabet. It sort of parallels the vertical sword of ignorance. This is the sword that cuts through ignorance. And it's from Japanese mythology and Buddhism. But the kanji to the, on the side, it says Godzilla. And then guess what, dude?
What?
Like, guess what? I thought it was a cool way to end the project. I thought it was symbolic. Me and Matsui have the same birthday, June 12th. So I was stoked about that. And I wrote his birthday in June 12th, 1974. He's 4 years younger than me. And then his other nickname was Shemp, Shemp. And it's got my vertical kind of Eastern style letter forms, hand style down on the other side of the sword. And then the other kanji above the Godzilla is his name. And then his hometown in Japan is written in a couple of different ways, along with his stats. And then you have like the great waves and Japanese style finger waves as sort of in decoration and design on his jersey. And you see there's another little Godzilla that's like at the bottom of his shirt.
Yeah. Now, I can tell. See that little tops right there, right on his elbow?
Yep.
I forgot what is that.
Yep. There it is. And it says Matsui right under his arm. Can you see that? If you zoom in.
I can't zoom in, but I'm pretty sure I can.
It's cool. Just pointing things out.
You do the most colorful and detailed cards. Like you are the man, the myth in this project. Everyone else is. I'm not saying you're the one. Miss Bands and my other homies are also really good, but
Thank you so much, man. That's really kind of you to say. I worked really hard on them, and it was a really weird time in the world, and I had a blast getting to know a whole new audience, and it was amazing that I could kind of bring joy to their lives and introduce collectors and baseball fans to a whole new world of art and illustration and design and concepts and just what I do, what I've always done. So thank you so much. Do you like the way his profile just kind of morphs and transmutates into Godzilla's head?
yeah.
And then the signature laser eyes goes right through, and it's lined up with his mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, he breathes the radioactive fire. It was a fun card. I worked really hard on it. And yeah, it's interesting. I think I did 40 cards in 2 years, Project 2020 and Project 70. And I think God bless you, Gesundheit. I think I got the hang of it by the time I got to the finish line. It's just such good practice, just such rad, consistent exercise where you're just drawing and creating something new from scratch, and you're establishing a system and a style and a process that's really distinct and unique to this project. But it's also kind of putting together 40 years of what I've been practicing as someone who loves to draw so much. So stay tuned, man. We have to stay in good touch because there's some really exciting projects.
Yeah. Now I gotta say this to all the viewers. I'm sorry, guys. I missed all your fans.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Zero. Oh.
I'm just reading. Are there other people joining us right now?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, who cares? We're having a conversation. We're having a good time, right?
Oh, not that one. I love this one. Pretty sure that was Matsui.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the last one.
That's interesting. I appreciate the comment. I wanted Matsui to be a Japanese human myth and baseball player. I didn't want him to be a Yankee or an Angel. I did use reference from an image of him in an Angel uniform, but that made sense to me for the card because the Japanese flag is just a red dot, really graphic red dot, and there's a lot of red, of course, in the card itself, and his uniform and his helmet is referencing him in an Angel's uniform, but it was all about him being Japanese.
Yeah, so I gotta ask you. I think I should ask you a few more questions. Maybe if you want to talk more, I think we should wrap it up after some of that.
It's up to you, man.
It's up to you.
It's your show, Blake. I've got some time. I have some water. I just had a snack. My fiance has some friends over downstairs. I set this up in my bedroom. I wanted you to see my studio, but that's sort of a different part of the house. So, but here we are.
What's the favorite card of your own?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think they're all unique, and I think each one is its own narrative, its own story. It's interesting. I think it took 40 cards to get as tight and focused like this Matsui card. But I know my fiance's favorite card is my Fernando Tatis Jr. with the big magenta circle, because that was inspired by the Topps card of that year, that design of that year. And there's different figures. Let me ask you this. Do you prefer my cards where it's just one portrait or one figure, or do you like when it's multiple figures?
I like it when it's multiple.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Those were a lot of work, so I kind of went in and out of doing single figures and multiple ones. But I don't know. I think there's unique, cool things about all of them. I don't know if I could choose. I like to think that the piece I did last, or my latest work, is my favorite or my best, because I put so much into it in this cumulative way. It's all sort of built on 2 years of figuring out how to make baseball cards my own, and how to make them really entertaining and engaging and super fun to look at and explore, and give people some really fresh, unique visual styles. So yeah, let's say this is my favorite. Dude, did you notice his eyes? Godzilla's eyes. What are they?
Baseballs.
Yeah, dude. And there's 3 of them.
So before I ask you a question, this is what Elizabeth Garcia said again.
Oh, hi, Elizabeth Garcia. The most challenging card. That's a good question. Let me think about it. I don't have visual access to them right now, but I would say, actually, let me just take a second here.
Okay.
I'm going to say my most challenging. Each one presents their own unique challenges, but I would say Goose Gossage was really challenging, because I wanted to create Easter in space and the idea of all nature coming back to life and rebirth, and they were actual Easter eggs, and it just got really, really intricate and complicated, and it got away from me a little bit. It's like you're riding a horse, and you get a good gallop going, and then you enter an open field and you're starting to sprint, and then it goes a little crazy and kind of throws you off of it a little bit, and then you have to get back on and tame it and keep riding. So that can happen with life, and certainly with trying to make cool art. Yeah, let's say Goose Gossage was my most challenging, because it really got away from me. I hope that helps.
Oh, not again.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You have allergies, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I got a vent
They're no fun.
right here behind me.
You what?
I'm allergic to dust, so it's a pretty
Oh,
big
man.
thing.
Who does the dusting? Do you?
Nah, Mom.
Mom, nice. That's a good mom. So do you have any other cards that you love, that you want to really talk about, or have we done enough? It's up to you.
I got way more questions. Okay,
Shoot.
so who are your favorite artists in the project?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I think in Project 70, Alex Pardee, showed what amazing energy and time and focus can do. He was on such a unique level. His videos were so professional. They were like beautifully made, really funny, really entertaining movie trailers or commercials, right? Like they were sick. And I know his process involves a lot of manual drawing and then a lot of refining and process in Procreate or Photoshop or Illustrator. So he was super inspiring to me. And we were in a show together in 2010, I think. Alex Pardee and I and another artist were in a show where we showed drawings and paintings in this cool gallery store space in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And I've always been a fan of his. So I love that we were in the project together. I thought Keith Shore's stuff was really just adorable and playful, and thought his style was really refreshing. I thought F. Dot was kind of the most improved artist of the whole series. The MIP, the most improved player. Let's see. Lauren Taylor, Jacob Rochester, really beautiful paintings. I mean, everyone brought their own thing to the table and did what they could, you know? So yeah, I'd have to say, you know, it was cool to see, how through the duration of the year-long project, which is a long time for a project, right? You have to understand. It was cool to see how certain pieces, certain cards, certain artistic styles and approaches inspired and influenced other artists. I feel like, you know, it was crazy to keep 51 artists like synchronized and assimilated and totally on the rails and consistent, but it was a community effort. I think it's really clear that that certain artists really inspired other artists and kind of kicked them in the butt a little bit to work harder or to be more imaginative or to be more creative. And I think it was a really cool experience. And it introduced me to a lot of cool artists, and some I didn't speak to at all. 51 is a lot of people. Everyone's super busy. But yeah, I think Alex Pardee just slayed because of the time and energy he put in, you know? I mean, he had a really distinct vision, the Brightmares, everything was branded. It was as if what he was creating existed already as a product, and that as an aesthetic, as a style itself was really inspiring. That's certainly how I like to think of things, and how I like to think of my work, you know? And his videos just crack me up. Weren't they so funny? So there you go.
Before I ask you another question, this is from 0 or 1. 0 or O. I'm not really sure which one.
Oh, okay. Gossage is one of my favorites. I have the foil and it's beautiful. Cool. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed the millions of things I put into that card. There's a lot going on.
I'm pretty sure he meant to say 2 because it's a TOO. I think he meant to put W.
Oh, okay. Okay. So cool. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you did Gossage. I saw him pitch live at Yankee Stadium when it was the original Yankee Stadium in the Boogie Down Bronx, because I grew up just 20 minutes north of the Bronx, and I used to go to tons of Yankee games as a kid because my pops was really good friends with a lot of old-time players. They kind of grew up together, and then he became their salesman, and just kind of a cool story. Baseball was a very big part of my childhood. And I certainly put a lot of my love of the game and my own history with it and my childhood memories and sort of that emotional energy into the cards. So cool. He had the craziest mustache. It's like thick 70s style handlebar mustache.
Yep, there's the correction. It was actually the.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Then he said,
I find something new every time I look at your cards. That's the idea. Mission accomplished. Sweet. Hey, Barry, are you there? It's your dad. What's up, Barry? I just want to say hi and thanks for orchestrating this, man.
No worries, brother. No worries. It's been a pleasure seeing your art kind of evolve. Everyone's art in this project, and I'll just say, I mean, I'm going to take a moment. I know this is Blake's little deal here, but I'm going to just reiterate, like, this kid put in more work and effort than anyone knows. I mean, I know everyone thinks he just sits there and reviews cards, but he put all his heart and soul and energy into this. And I mean, he put in as many hours and work as probably any artist, maybe more than some. I mean,
we all appreciate it, man. We all love him. We all totally, I mean, it's all evident, right? It's really clear that's.
I mean, all he wanted to do was paint this in a positive light, bring positive energy, positivity to every card, every artist, tops. He just wants everyone to be happy and have fun with art, with the hobby, with the sport of baseball. Like, he's just, I mean, I'm his dad, but I have never seen a human being that has such a positive and, just great outlook, happy outlook on life, on everything. Like, he never said, I mean, he made some jokes about some cards. I mean, we all know he cracked some jokes, but he never meant anything in a bad way. Like, he gave really everyone like a good positive review, and that's crazy, dude. For
a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time and energy. We all really appreciate it, and I think your dad's a huge fan. I think your dad is the president of the Blake Grice fan club. Well, thanks for coming in.
Dad's ready for a vacation.
Dad, you could come in.
I can't even tell you how many all the editing and just all the stuff I've done for this for him, but it's all worth it, man. Like, he's happy, and
that's awesome.
He just wants to make the world better, and I think he is. Like, that's
what's happening. You guys are making the world better.
I mean, that's his whole goal with this, to use this platform to help people and bring people together in positive spirits. And there's just he's seen some of the negativity online with the it's a lot of people looking for the cash grab and money, and that's cool, man. Like, each to their own. Like, that's part of the hobby. He gets it. People want to make money and stuff, but he's got that pure innocence we all had when we were
he's coming from his own completely distinct and soulful and positive place. It's wonderful. We were really stoked to meet you guys, and here we are. Last card, having the conversation.
Yeah.
Friends for life. Awesome.
Yeah.
Blake, do you have any other questions from people chiming in, or do you have any other questions for me?
So you were amazing, and I would be honored to do a collaboration with you and some of the artists. So yeah.
In what way, man? I'm listening.
I have a few, maybe a deck card, a card deck, a few ideas. 4 tops.
Well, why don't you and I have a conversation over text or over the phone after, after we aren't live anymore, and we can see what's possible.
Big.
Cool.
Yep, and maybe we could talk to some other artists.
Sure. See who has time, see who has the energy, see who would be interested. Yeah, totally, man. It's worth a shot. I'm just stoked we're just going to keep in touch.
I know a few people that could really help.
Do you, I'm trying to think, did you get to know my cards in Project 70 or Project 2020? I can't remember.
Both.
Oh, okay. I gotta sneeze. Chew.
Bless you.
Thank you. Do you say God bless you like the person sneezes? I do that with my I started doing that with my parents when I was younger, and I still kind of do it. It's fun.
Yeah, I just heard you go at chew, bless you.
Yeah. Nice. You rhymed it. You mimicked it. That was good.
Yeah.
Do you think Project 2020 and Project 70 were really different with what I did, or do you see it all just
Yeah.
kind of evolving.
2020 were different designs from everyone. The
Yeah,
color
yeah. Well, the thing about Project 2020, we all got assigned the same 20 cards, and we just got to do our thing with them. For Project 70, it was 31 more artists, and we got to choose our own players and got to choose the image. So there was a lot. It was just more expansive, you know. It opened up a lot of possibilities, I think, in Project 70, which was rad. It kind of like things got a lot looser and more open, and we got to make a lot more of our own decisions originally. So it was it was different. Project 70 definitely was different than Project 2020. The world was so different between Project 2020 and Project 70. So yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think if I have any more questions. Oh, right, famous one. Before we end this, we are at 46 minutes, almost an hour. Wow, we've been talking a lot.
Nice.
In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A?
What did you say?
In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A?
Oh yeah, you like Chick-fil-A?
Yes, both.
My nephew really likes Chick-fil-A. He's
I-
really into that place.
I love
He's
it.
18. He's a freshman in college, and he loves Chick-fil-A, especially at 2 a.m.
And one last comment.
Sure. Would you like me to respond to that, Blake? That comment?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And of all the possible players, we had so many repeat players. Well, I kind of stopped following Major League Baseball when I was about maybe 16, 17. So my choices were personal ones, players that I really loved and had memories of as characters that I grew up with, from the Yankees and a few from the Red Sox, and Dave Parker and Kent Tekulve from the Pittsburgh Pirates. But it's sort of a complicated question to answer, because I just chose who I loved and who I had memories of. And then I have an awesome management team that are huge baseball fans and knew a lot of the modern players that they were really stoked to see me do my stylistic and conceptual thing with. So yeah, I mean, you ended up getting a lot of the same players for a variety of reasons, but I hope you dug my choices. And you know, if you didn't, you certainly can't please everybody. But yeah, there were 51 artists and a whole history of a sport to choose from. So yeah.
Yeah, I just love all of them. But one last question. I'm pretty sure, if I cannot squeeze any more out, what is the best pizza in New York?
What?
What is the best pizza in New York?
Oh, best pizza. Good question. Damn. I have to say John's Pizza in the West Village is my jam. I love it with meatballs and a salad for two, and like the wooden bowl with just oil and vinegar.
I love meatballs.
You like meatballs?
Yes, I love Italian sausages especially.
So check this out. So I grew up in a really little Italian neighborhood about a half hour north of New York City. All my aunts and uncles and cousins and grandfather back to Italy were on 2 square blocks where I grew up. It was a cool way to grow up. And I lived in a little apartment above my grandmother till I was 7. And then my dad bought a house up the street. And my parents are 80 and 85, and they're still up there, right? My grandmother made the most amazing homemade meatballs, dude. You know what she put in them?
What?
You know the black olives that you can put on your fingers and pretend you're like an alien or something, like all kids do?
Yeah.
She would take those black olives in a can, chop them up, and put them in the meatballs while they were just like the chopped meat and cold and mushy. And you get your hands in there and you make the little balls actually with your hands. And they were delicious. And I think that's a pretty rad note to end on. Delicious homemade meatballs. Nana's homemade meatballs.
Let's go make us some meatball pizza when we if we ever go there.
Sounds good. You ever come to New York City, man? I'm taking you to John's Pizza. Have you ever been to New York?
Yeah. Yes, but last thing, pretty sure, hopefully.
Okay. What time's your bedtime when it's a school week? School night?
Probably 8:30.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got it. So you're good. You're good. Okay. Is there one more question? This person is saying, just want to thank you for not doing another Strawberry or Lasorda. Rest in peace, Tommy Lasorda. And I remember Strawberry from the Mets, but I didn't choose that. I didn't choose that player.
Yeah, so yeah. I thank you everyone for coming on today. And yeah, let's end the broadcast. Bye. Peace. Say bye.
Blake, thank you so much. Barry, I'm so glad we finally got to connect, homie. Let's keep in good touch. All right. We'll keep talking. Keep it moving.
I'm just gonna end the broadcast. We'll talk a bit.
Peace, everybody.
Yep.